Impact of AI or artificial intelligence discrimination against Black individuals. The research question of this presentation is going to be, to what extent has AI crime rating systems been discriminating against Black individuals in the United States of America? The argument is that Black communities have suffered the most from unjust consequences due to a risk grade given from a machine, and the most logical step is to take legal actions against the foundation where biased algorithms are formed in. So, how does this relate to the Internet of Things? According to the provided stimuli, the increase in digitization and automation of the multitudes of devices deployed across different areas of modern urban environments are said to create new security challenges to many industries. In this case, those new security challenges include the AI discrimination against Black lives. One of the reasons why this argument was concluded was because Black defendants are most likely to go through longer jail sentences than white defendants for less severe crimes. For instance, there are suspicious details about the procedure. According to Miriam Bogle in a website that she published, law enforcement activities such as predictive policing have too often targeted communities of color. Correlate with the fact that AI machines have a tendency of manipulating risk scores given to Black individuals. Sadly, the justice system is letting go of criminals with serious felonies and holding back individuals who probably just did an honest mistake. On the right, here's a chart or graph released from ProPublica, which studies the different risk scores of both white and Black defendants in a 1 to 10 scale. The chart representing Black individuals is at the top, and the chart representing the white individuals is at the bottom. And apparently, Black defendants are more likely to receive a score of 5 or higher, while white defendants are more likely to receive a 1, which is the less severe score. Therefore, Black defendants are more likely to receive more strict punishments than white defendants, disregarding their more severe crimes. Another example of that is shown in this picture below, where there is a man who has serious felonies and is still rated as a safer person than the Black woman next to him, who doesn't even have subsequent offenses. Therefore, these cases prove that AI machines show their bias by wrongly labeling Black individuals as more dangerous than white individuals. And in a broader context, the primary concern of racism in technology is that it affects the Black community and its lives by putting them in jail for unintelligible reasons and giving the Black community a bad reputation. But in order to have a better understanding of this argument, the underlying causation of AI discrimination has to be uncovered and discussed. In this case, the underlying issue lies behind the programmers with personal biases who create these machines. According to Barani's research article, he stated that computers don't become biased on their own. They need to learn that from us. Barani emphasizes in this piece of evidence that crime rating algorithms are programmed with a foundation solely on human knowledge. So all the patterns of discrimination attacking Black lives comes from a person or a group of people who share those beliefs. Therefore, that is another reason why AI discrimination is endangering society. For instance, a programmer might think that Black people are more likely to participate in drug trafficking, then they will add those details to the algorithm, and then they will display those views towards millions of people. Abuse of the law and technology can also happen with juries and lawyers and police officers or almost anyone who participates in the judicial department. The counterclaim for this argument would be that many juries say that multiple factors are considered when judging a person before making it official, apart from relying on a single risk score. Others believe that it has always been challenging to predict which criminals are worse than others. And some even say that the problem does not entirely based on machine bias. It can also depend on wrong interpretations and challenging cases that are hard for machines to find a reasonable solution. For example, two testimonies were shared in ProPublica's research article. The first one states, Hurley said he relies on factors including a person's prior criminal record, the type of crime committed, ties to the community, and their history of failing to appear at court proceedings. The other testimony stated that the trick is to make sure that the computer gets it right. If it's wrong in one direction, a dangerous criminal could go free. If it's wrong in another direction, it could result in someone unfairly receiving a harsher sentence and waiting for longer parole than is appropriate. But here's the real issue. This mistake, or error, has a higher percentage on the Black defendants than white defendants. In this graph provided by ProPublica, again, it shows different percentages of predictive failure. Unsurprisingly, a higher percentage of Black defendants were wrongly labeled as more dangerous than appropriate, and a higher percentage of white defendants were labeled as less dangerous than appropriate. And this is not a coincidence. Where is the proof of that? The only reality that is seen is that fair trials are challenging to pursue because of budget cuts. To make that more clear, a lot of US states have financial issues, and they cannot sustain the salary of a lawyer, so they make budget cuts. And budget cuts lead to more reliance on cheaper machines, and these machines lead to less fair trials because, again, the Justice Department is basing all of their judgment on single risk scores. To conclude this argument, solutions can be implemented. First, machines can be reprogrammed into disregarding the race and ethnicities when measuring risk scores. And another solution can be that the Justice Department can make sure that algorithms rely on the offenses and past crimes of the individual, and of course, always follow the law. But that solution won't come too easy because of these limitations. First, use of reprogramming. That is not an easy fix because you have to all the crime rating algorithms have to be reset, and that will take a very long time. There will still be personal biases against Blacks, and the only hope for them is a change of heart. And lastly, an increased employment of lawyers and judges will most likely cause a decline on several states' economies. But either way, a long and efficient fight for justice can clear up the situation. This is the works cited page where all the information and research took place. What are your questions?
Okay, I do have two questions for you. First up, was there evidence that you gathered that you didn't use, and then why'd you not use it?
Yes, there was. There was a lot of evidence that I did not use from Miriam. She said things that didn't seem credible enough, and I already have enough evidence that I liked from ProPublica, which was the best source. It was actually given to me from Valencia, and it gave me all the evidence that I needed, but there was, yes, that's what I wanted to say. Like, ProPublica gave me enough evidence for me to not use evidence from other sources that didn't seem as credible.
Okay. And if you had more time, what additional research would you do on this topic?
I will probably find more more credible sources rather than ProPublica, because that was my favorite resource, and the other ones were more like, sorry to say, but they were more like fillers. And I will try to find more on Google Scholar and all of that to find any other things. But I had no idea that the reason why people used machines were from budget cuts. I had no idea about that. I had no idea they used machines in the first place. I thought they were people who analyze other people. And it's kind of sad, and people have to start talking about it more.